All right. Hello, everybody. We are here.
We are not here.
Well, most
we are,
of us
we are
are
out
here.
of cell range.
Many of us are here.
About 30 seconds to get back on here.
Yeah. Who's got the mushroom script?
I don't have the mushroom script. Ryan, you're on mute now.
Yeah, we have the Muppet version of young Ryan right now.
Ryan, you need to unmute yourself.
Oh, am I working again?
Sorry.
Yeah, there he is. There he is.
Okay. Sorry, it disconnected me immediately. We are here for day after show, talking about last night, the second night of Richmond, second night of fall tour. Very exciting stuff. We've got a couple of great guests coming on today. Looking forward to chatting. How are you guys doing today?
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Good today, man. Yep.
Good to have you back, Kev. Too bad D couldn't join us today, but glad we still have 4 of us here. Before we get started,
last night.
He did. Before we get started, I do want to remind everybody that today's episode of Day After Show is sponsored by Evergio Wellness. Evergio functional mushrooms are here to help right now, whether you are gearing up for a show, going to sleep afterwards, or recovering and restoring the day after. With a wide range of health benefits, Evergio mushrooms help you make the most out of the moment through the ancient healing properties in their highly potent fruiting bodies. The organic certified therapeutic potency and their planet positive refill system are 2 of the many standout reasons that Evergio is my choice supplement. Be clear, chill, balanced, energized, protected, focused, and calm in the moment with Evergio mushrooms. Use code STORMSOUND15 for 15% off your order, available to ship anywhere in the US or Canada. Fantastic. So
I can't wait to get my mushrooms. They're on the way.
Gonna microdose those.
They're good. I've been taking the Lion's Mane focus ones, and they're good.
You seem focused lately.
I know, right? I'm very in it. So what did you guys think of last night?
Focus on the road.
I'm not currently moving. I'm just in the back seat. We're parked. What did you guys think of last night's show? First, initial reactions.
I mean, I had a lot of fun last night. I'm really tired today, even though I didn't go to a show. I think there's a little extra partying in the background there. I thought it was a really good, solid 2-set show.
A lot of energy going on in that venue, and I can't wait to have our guests on, our special guests to talk about that energy for that second night in a row there. So something to look forward to there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Friday night show. I mean, yeah, good stuff. Definitely a lot of good energy. Another good first set coming out, dropping another big jam. Getting some of the heavy hitters. And then we got some Kylie. So yeah, I mean, good night.
Yeah, you think so?
We have 12 minutes set aside for Jive to talk about Kylie.
We're dissecting every note of that jam on the show.
There's a segment dedicated to the Jive commentary on the Kylie. I like we did get another pairing of the Butter, if you will, or Butterlints.
I don't know. I'm just calling it Butterflies and Turbulence, man.
It's fun to make.
That has a nice ring to it, Neil.
Yeah.
We'll keep workshopping the combo offline.
It's good. Yeah. We'll come back to you guys once we have it. Butterflies in the Night Rays. That's a good one.
There you go.
That also works. Turbulence in the Night Butterflies.
I don't know, man.
Turbulence in the Night Flies.
That's just too complicated, man.
Yeah,
I'm just going with the song titles.
We're getting a little off here. Should we bring on our special guests and
bring on the guests?
Yeah. We got another couple big Goose Twitter guys.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to the show, Ryan, Garrett. Very nice to have you. Mm-hmm. And we got to ask you first, how was the show last night? What was the vibe like? What was the scene like? Talk us through it.
Yeah, sure. It was awesome. Night 1 felt like it was a good show that had a few highlights. But last night just felt like the entire show, the energy was up like from start to finish. Got out there early around like 2:00 in the afternoon and hung out in the rain for a little bit and got to meet lots of really cool people. At Josh, who's at Turn Clouds, and just lots of other great people in the line. And energy was just really high from the middle of the day. Then you hooked it up, putting a tent out for all of us standing under the rain,
nice.
Which was super clutch. But yeah, once everyone got in and got their spots, it was just you could just feel a little bit more energy yesterday than Thursday.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because especially I went to go to the bathroom and get a drink right before they started, so probably like 5 till 8 or so. And when I went back to get back on the floor, you could just tell it was already just packed, the way that Thursday was not like that. So like, because Thursday it filled in for sure towards the end of the show, but to start it, like everyone was there last night and the energy was it was off the charts.
Yeah, I think that really came through on the webcast last night. You could really tell that the crowd was amped, really into it.
It's that TGIF energy.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Plus, it had been raining in Richmond all day. It wasn't the greatest day, so I think people were kind of ready to get out and move around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right, well, hey, let's get into the show then. So, like we were talking about a minute ago, another familiar pairing of Butterflies and Turbulence to kick us off. How are you guys feeling when the lights went down and the music started?
I love Butterflies. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I love Butterflies. I love it as an opener. I got it. I was at Chrysalis, and so they opened that first night with Butterflies too. Mm-hmm. I just think it's an awesome new jam that they've got, and it gets the energy going in just the absolute right direction off the start. And then Turbulence, zero complaints about Turbulence. Both of those new jams are just, they could play those every single show, bro, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, Garrett, what do you think?
Yeah. So, like, I heard the debut of both of those over in Legend Valley, and, like, it was good the first time, but you could just see those songs getting more and more evolved. That jam in the end of Butterflies was really awesome. Rick playing with the reverse loop and getting a little bit further out there. And then Turbulence, just that's going to be a monster set closer. It debuted as a set closer, but it just seems to be getting bigger and bigger as they settle in with it more.
And there were some stats flying around. There were some stats flying around on Twitter yesterday about the pairing. What was the 4 out of the last 6 times or something like that? They've been played together.
Turbulence has been played 6 times. Butterflies only 5, but 4 out of the 6 Turbulences have come in the same set as a Butterflies. Yeah, so
and 4 out of the
Legend
5
Valley,
Butterflies have come in the same set as Turbulence.
Yes, that would be Legend Valley, Rally, Portland, and last night.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the math behind all that, but it checks out. Trust me.
we didn't talk about fantasy in our little preamble there, but Kev over here had a big night with that Turbulence. We said is when they opened with Butterflies that his Turbulence stock had just gone way up and then paid off for him there. I would like to say that Kev and I are currently tied for leading in the Always Almost There contingent of Fantasy Goose. We are in 31st place right now.
We're doing great.
And none of it matters. None of it matters.
We're 2 shows in.
We're 2 shows in. None of it matters.
Yeah. Everybody's having fun. That's the most important thing.
Especially you. You were having a great time in this first set, with your 0 points. You were really enjoying yourself.
Well, I mean, yeah. It was a hectic evening for me. I was coaching. I got home.
But presumably you picked before that, right?
Yeah, you have to.
Presumably.
Yeah. You can't pick after the show starts. That's
try.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is the time of year, especially, or the time of tour, especially, where it's like, there's a lot of 50-50 calls. There's groupings of songs where you can't take them all, and sometimes you just have those runs where, it's like, am I going to pick, Creatures, or Drive, or am I going to pick, Matavan or, whatever, one of my other wrong picks. But so the point is, we're going to get it like Ryan said, we're going to get into the groove of it over the next few days. And that's where the, that's where the, the analytics and the daily deep dive will start to pay dividends. So just hang in there in 31st place. And
you're not in 31st.
Yeah, you're not.
No,
you're lower than that.
No, but the good news is I'm only 22 points off the lead. So that's how you got to look at it. Don't get hung up in how low your place is right now.
That's one show.
You not picking Drive is a pretty good segue into the Drive that comes after the Butterflies and Turbulence.
Absolutely.
What'd y'all think of that in person?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good. They're continuing to play with the song structure of Drive. That part has kind of disappeared since like early June, I think. And they're just kind of jumping right into the jam from different places. This one, they jumped right into that second jam, theme that shows up there usually. And, great clav. Really, really, I think we were talking about, it really sounded like Peter was leading this jam. Saw some nice action on the new Prophet. Like, Ryan, why don't you talk about the Drive? What did you think of it?
I mean, it was pretty much just like what you were just saying, where Peter was just driving that thing. No pun intended. But he was just right there, just banging away, and everyone else was just kind of following his lead. And then Rick just kind of going to town there at the end of it, like he always does. I mean, it's a phenomenal jam. I was hoping to get it at some point these first 2 nights, and pretty happy to get it last night.
Garrett?
Yeah. The last few drives we've seen are, have had like a really big first jam. And last night seemed pretty short, but that second jam got out there. And I listened to that this morning. And the second I heard that clav work, I was thinking of young Ryan over here. There was a lot of clav work yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did we get a clav tweet last night? I should have verified that before.
There was immediately a clav tweet.
Oh, okay. Right.
Have no fear.
Right on. That was a killer drive. I like it a lot. That's the first thing I went back to this morning. And I'm probably going to listen to it again after this. I had a hell of a time last night listening to that. I was all fired up after that one. Really, really good drive. Probably my favorite drive in a little while. Maybe since like Newport. And even then, I think it might even be a little bit better than that Newport drive.
Yeah, for sure. And, so Ryan,
Which one?
we don't always get Peter on the keys for Drive.
Yes.
Right.
And so, that was very cool. And listen, I don't have much more to add to that, but if you liked that drive last night, go check out if you haven't already, go check out the drive from 8/21/21 at Fred last summer for a really awesome version with Pete on the keys. So
vintage vibe right there. That jam that's a vintage vibe jam.
Yeah. But really good stuff. I mean, it was definitely a full blown dance party. And this is way before Kylie. So I mean, it's like they were setting everybody up for a dance-a-thon. So and then so let's see, where do we go from there? So we had the big drive, and then we dropped into the Gun Street Girl cover, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
A little bit of a rarity. I know it wasn't Garrett's first live electric Gun Street Girl,
but I think it was
a year and a half. A year and a half, that has to be a bust out, right?
Well, they played it this year as well.
Yep.
Electric?
Yeah, Minnesota.
Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And at Suwannee, April 2021 was the other electric.
Was this the first one Peter was on slide?
Yes.
I believe
Glad
so.
you brought that up. Yeah.
Yes,
we were talking about that in chat last night, and it sounded really good.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great jam.
Yeah. I actually, Peter's guitar last night, I don't know if anyone else noticed a difference in the tone from the first night. He actually, if anyone didn't know, he got a new guitar amp. for the beginning of this tour, and actually before last night, he swapped the clav and guitar. So the guitar was going back through the Fender deluxe reverb that he had been using before, and the clav was going through the new amp. I thought the clav sounded phenomenal through that different amp. And yeah, the guitar to me sounded a little bit thinner last night. I'm not sure if, maybe he had different settings on the amp than he was used to, or a new mic on it. But yeah, that slide did really, really fit the tone of that song. And I'm glad, he's utilizing that sound a little bit outside of just that one part of Born where it usually pops up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. Like, like just him playing slide more often and just like finding ways to incorporate it into songs. And like, I was joking about it last night on Twitter, which is like, you have like post-traumatic stress from like years of Bobby learning how to play slide guitar on stage. Yeah. But like, so far it sounds good. He's not overdoing it. And yeah, it sounded pretty good. Sorry, Ryan, I cut you off there. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just going to say that I thought Peter sounded way better tonight overall than he did last night. I kind of caught the same kind of vibes that Noah was talking about on the pod yesterday, of how there were times when you couldn't really hear Peter as well. And I kind of got that myself a little bit last night, or Thursday night, but last night he came through picture perfect.
Awesome.
Yep.
And then then we've got Butter Rum and Madhavan closing the set out.
Yeah, let's talk about that Madhavan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, we got Spud's vocals on the rum. That's notable.
Somebody hit big points.
It was a precise, succinct rum, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Is that your 8-pointer, Kev?
It was, and I'm not even bringing that up. You're bringing that up.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up for you.
Thank you.
To give you props.
Yeah.
And give the people out there some insight,
There's nothing wrong.
How you roll the dice,
The Kev method.
There's nothing wrong with a little butter rum.
Butter rum.
I think the lyric is California Magic. Maybe what you're looking for. Maybe. So let's talk about that Madhavan. What did you guys think of it, Garrett? Tell us about this Madhavan.
It was a good Madhavan. The ending, their energy was really, really high in the venue. This was actually the first time, like I would say that the casual fans in the crowd like really started to get into the show, starting at the Madhavan. Really big roar in the crowd there, and that I would say that's really where the show really started to take off with the casual fans. I have to re-listen to the jam. I can't really quite remember if there's anything too distinctive about it, but I know like the ending got pretty peaky in a good way, and energy. What people were losing their minds in the venue. So yeah, it was a good Madhavan. I wouldn't put it up there with like 6/19/21 or Raleigh, but it was good.
Yeah, I have nothing really to add on top of that. That's pretty much my exact thoughts on Madhavan as well. I need to go back and re-listen to it as well. I do remember Peter and Rick playing off each other a little bit throughout the song, which was really cool. And then obviously all the peaks in it, just phenomenal. And that's the song I wanted more than probably any other ones. I was just kind of losing my mind a little bit personally when that one came on. So very excited when that one hit.
It reminded me a little bit of the Westville Madhavan insofar as there was like kind of just like that beefed up outro kind of jam with like a lot of energy and kind of that, blissy major key feel going out. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty cool Madhavan. As far as Madhavans go, like if you get one like that at a show, like that's pretty great.
No complaints.
Were there tears on your end, Neil?
No tears last night. No tears. It was just like a nice, like I said, like a nice beefed up outro jam, which is, you take it. Like they don't all have to go into outer space. You know what I mean? Madhavan is just a killer tune anyway. Like it doesn't have to do anything crazy. So, close out your first set with that. Like, sure, send me up.
Yeah. Yep. Be patient. The tears will come when they don't jam out Born.
Yeah.
They don't need to jam Born. But
I feel like they were running against the clock there at the end of the Madhavan, and they cut it a little bit short. That it could have gone a little bit longer, but given the set times and where they were, it kind of cut off a little bit before they got going a little bit more, but yeah, it was still pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that. I was going to bring that up myself, but so as we hit set break here, yeah, I mean, how did that feel to you? I mean, because both shows were a little bit on the shorter side. I mean, just numbers wise, shorter than the average show, and they only started 15 20 minutes after ticket time, which is
Yep.
which pretty. So that goes to show you right there that, I mean, they're obviously conscious of the time. I think with I feel like with a curfew like that, I mean, you probably gotta move that ticket time up, at least a half an hour or something, just to give everybody time to get in, but but also allow them to to give us 75-minute sets, so and I think with set two, especially was, really, I mean, I had it just a tick under an hour, without the encore.
Crazy.
Did that, before we get into to the music itself, did anything about these two nights feel short? That set two last night, did that feel short to you guys being there?
I didn't think it felt short in the moment until I looked down at my phone and saw that it was only 11 o'clock and they were going out for before the encore. And so I was just like, they're either coming back out for like some kind of 3-song encore, or this is going to be we're going to be going home pretty soon. And then sure enough, 1 song and we're out of there by 11:15. I was a little surprised by that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what the curfew was or anything.
Yeah, they had 11:15 hard stop both nights.
Okay. Okay.
So they still even went over that a little bit.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, I think 11:17 was Thursday.
Yeah, night one they went over almost 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be 11:15 hard stop. I think I just come to expect, like, indoor curfew shows, we're going to get shorter sets, and non-curfew shows they'll just get to explore a little bit more. And so I guess it felt normal, not necessarily short, just for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think of this Empress to open set two? I like the placement for the song for sure. I would love to see it honestly show up as like a show opener at some point. I think that would be a great curveball pick. Thought this was really high energy. They got into some nice, that klezmery vibe that they've been hitting occasionally. Rick got to those tumble teases as he does in that motif. What did you guys think of the Empress?
I thought it was the highlight of the night. Peter comes out and he starts saying, "You're phenomenal. and quoting Animals. So he was very much expecting Animals. So for them to go into Empress, that was quite a nice surprise. And then they played like 3 of their clapping songs this weekend, so we got a lot of audience participation in there. Energy was really great during the song itself, but got a little bit chompy in the venue during the jam. But I will be going back now that the boards are up. That will be the first thing that I fully re-listen to.
Yeah, I agree. For me, Drive was my highlight of the night, but this was a very close second. It was a phenomenal way to get the energy going, to start it off. And then, I mean, everyone was just kind of losing their minds throughout the jam. I mean, it was just high energy as it gets throughout that jam. And it just led into everything else. I mean, there's a little bit of singing in that one, but then that kind of led into more singing, especially in the Born. Ton of singing in Born and even Hunger Sight.
Yeah, they're really, out of Born here, they're really utilizing that album transition into Hunger Sight a lot. Not entirely sure how much I love it, especially with the way Born has performed as a jam vehicle, like, Dylan recently. I will say I was a little bit disappointed last night. I feel like, Hunger Sight at this point is kind of settling into this role and getting into this very familiar sounding jam into it, like this driving whatever with like Peter on keys, and I thought last night's was starting to go somewhere interesting before the Kylie segue, but it's interesting how they're utilizing Born and Hunger Sight in set lists right now.
Yeah, and I mean, look, we talked about Western Sun yesterday. For me, it's kind of the same deal. I mean, it's a beautiful song, and I can accept the fact that sometimes you're going to get a nice jam out of it, and sometimes you're just going to get the beautiful song, and then they're going to give you something else. So, and in fact, I would probably take Born and with no jam, and then Hunger Sight with a normal jam. I'd rather take that pairing than just a 23-minute Born. It's they're both good. It's all good. You know what I mean? It's like any of this is probably going to make me happy, but
Right.
I don't really complain about some of these songs, especially these beautiful songs, not having a big 2001 jam tacked onto it. You know what I mean?
It's fair.
Garrett
Ryan.
Garrett and Ryan, if I could just real quick, did you guys think, like, as these songs started to unfold, that you were going to get the drip field also?
I didn't. The vibes weren't there for drip field. But I agree. I'm getting a little fatigued of the Born Hunger Sight combo. I think I've heard it four times maybe this year already, which that's of my own fault. Going to
Go to too many shows, man. Yeah.
Go to less shows and you'll see the
Slow
song
down.
less.
Yeah. But I will say, like, during Born, that was the first time that, like, the entire crowd stopped talking and everyone was singing along, which it was a really cool moment in the venue, especially in the Someday I'll Lay My Head Down part. And Peter was really egging on the vocals during the night because the crowd was starting to sing along a lot more. And you could tell that he was getting pretty pumped up about that as well.
Yeah, that's like
100%.
pretty exciting. Like the crowd sing along. We were talking a little bit before we kind of hit record today, but just the idea of like people just being really fired up and singing along. I don't think I've ever seen that in any of the shows that I've been to. I mean, like you see it here and there. Like I think folks will like join in on hot tea and things like that at times. But
Goose Arcadia got a hell of a sing along.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But like this show is like a lot of singing, right? I mean, like you can hear it on the soundboards, and I don't think there's anything out there like that. And I think it's just a really cool thing. And this kind of agrees with what Jive was saying, which is like they're just out there playing Born. There are people that, like showing up to the show who just want to hear Born, right? Or amongst other songs, and they know that song really, really well. And it's pretty fucking awesome that Goose writes those kinds of songs, and that people are that stoked to sing along when they're out there. So I don't know, man. It's pretty cool.
I agree with that.
Tis indeed. And then Kylie. We talked about this set being short. I think it definitely would have benefited from another song coming after Kylie. Maybe if they had, if they were worried about the curfew, if they just non-chord it, and had gone into a bigger jam instead of taking a couple of minutes before the tea.
And we saw some songs get bounced, right, from the written set list.
Yes, we did.
Slow Ready, Echo, and Silver Rising.
Silver Rising, yeah.
So so I mean, basically, I think somebody had to make the call. Like, hey, we can't play it all. So should we play Silver Rising? Should we play Echo of a Rose? Or should we play Kylie?
Oh man.
When you put it like that.
I like to look at it this way. They said, like, should we play Born? And they snuck that Born in there and didn't jam it out, and we got really lucky. So that's the glass half full perspective. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, and look, it's like I was saying earlier. I mean, it's like everybody was dancing, having a good time. I mean, so those decisions are made, more off the energy in the room than whatever the fuck any of us think. So, it always works. It almost always works when you're in the room. The only thing I'll say is, I have a little bit of fun with Kylie, and it's all in good fun, but it does make me wonder why so much Kylie but no Four Non Blondes. I mean, that's just my question, that I have, because I think that's out there. It's in the repertoire. You know what I mean?
Are you asking what's going on?
I'm making a small play for, you know.
That was last played bingo tour, right?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm on record. It's a dope song. They should play it. They absolutely should play it. And I wouldn't even equate it with Kylie. I think it's a killer cover. Bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they expected Kylie to go 17 minutes long. So that's probably where we saw some major shifts right there. Silver Rising probably would have killed the set with where the crowd was. So that was a good call. Echo would have fit very well in here. And then Hot Tea, while it's closed a lot this year, was the absolute right move with the way everyone was feeling in there that night. So, and it was a drone core, which was pretty cool. And the bass was very, very heavy in that drone core. So people we're pretty pumped through the whole thing.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised when I looked at the set list times this morning and saw that Kylie song was 17 minutes because it did not feel that long in the moment. So I was pretty surprised.
Yeah, keep in mind that timing on Nugs contains that whole.
Okay, I got you.
You know,
so it's probably like 13, 14 minutes.
I think it was 15 by your count, Jive.
Yeah, he had it as 14 on the set list that he tweeted.
Okay.
That's unofficial timing. Yeah.
Somewhere between 14 and 17 minutes.
Yeah.
And
and then T as a closer is phenomenal. My second ever show was out in San Francisco earlier this year. Same kind of vibes, or as a small ballroom, indoor ballroom. Sorry,
the Wisteria show.
Exactly, the actual Jam of the Year. And then, but no, so it was the same kind of thing. So curfew, whole 9 yards, and people sold out show, high energy, and they closed it out with tea, and it was the same kind of thing. The roof was just coming off the top of the venue.
Nice. Are either of you guys in Atlanta for tonight?
I wish. No way my body would hold up for that.
It was I looked. It was like it's like an 8.5 hour drive, which is, you know, they have some gaps between shows that are like, you know, really long. Especially tonight's show. I think showtime is 7 instead of 8. For those of you who may not have noticed that, but I'm looking forward to tonight. You know, I know that I don't think all of us have put in our fantasy picks yet, so I don't really want to be as forthcoming with what I'm expecting tonight.
Yeah, I'm not in yet. Not that I would take picks from you.
Wait, hold up. Like, if you're trying to insinuate that we're waiting to look at your picks to put on.
Not that.
Hey, he is a top 31 player. He's a top 31 player.
I'm ahead of you right now, mister.
Top 31.
Right, you won't be for very long. I will say that.
Say that now.
We'll up the ante. But I mean, the track record's not good, Brian. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I was beating you for 2/3 of the fall tour last year.
I don't know if that's true, but
it is.
So hey, let's wrap this up with Ryan and Garrett, because they don't want to sit here and listen to all of us make fun of Ryan.
Maybe they do. Maybe they do.
I mean, at least I watch most of these podcasts, so it's pretty normal.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thank you for
really appreciate you being one of the dozens of listeners out there. So what's next show wise for both of you guys? Ryan, you got any tickets already bought? You got any shows on the horizon?
Fairfax to Goose, and then thinking hard about doing Reading as well, but haven't pulled the trigger on that one yet.
Yeah,
but those will be the last. Fairfax right now is scheduled to be my last, and if I were to do any else, so it'd be Reading, and then that'd be it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Garrett, I know you always.
I have a little addiction. Yeah. I got Lowell, Mohegan, Glens Falls, Syracuse, Reading, Goosemas, and New Year's.
Nice.
To bring it to
not bad.
28 up here,
Yeah.
No Portland?
Yeah.
Still throw that one in too.
I'm doing Portland through Glens Falls, so we'll see.
Just the guests for now.
I think all of us will see a Goose Miss, right?
I was just gonna say, yeah. So Garrett's a road warrior. We'll see you at Goose Miss. Met up in Dillon for the first time that I had met Garrett, just very briefly. But yeah, man. Hey, listen, pleasure having you guys on. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and your experience and your perspective and everything. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the streams and the upcoming shows. And yeah, we'll see y'all on Twitter.
Sounds good.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, y'all.
Okie doke.
Nice.
Dude, Garrett goes to a lot of shows, man.
He goes to a lot of shows.
That's good stuff. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Well, I'm going to see him at a bunch. I'm excited about that. So.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing where they go with it tonight. I think we're on an upward trajectory. I think by the time I see them next Saturday, they're really going to be.
We're always on an upward trajectory. That's why this band is so much fun.
That's true.
Yeah. Hey, so listen, I do want to just chat real quick. So about the Silver Rising and the Echo. So so the Echo, two bumps in a row, because we talked yesterday about what can we expect to see that got bumped. So we did see Echo again. Now so what are we going to see tonight? You know what I mean? Echo, Silver, Slow Ready. We don't have to answer that now because I know we don't want to influence
your picks on it.
We don't want Ryan to influence our picks.
Yeah. My picks are in. So.
But the Silver Rising, that's also interesting. Just the placement of it on the set list, because
a late second,
very deep, yeah.
And because Garrett made an interesting point that that might have not had the most positive impact, on the flow of that set or the energy in the room. So, and yeah, I mean, I think I tend to agree with that. When I saw it there, I kind of thought, wow, that's interesting placement. You know what I mean? I think that song just works really well in the first set. And I think Silver Rising is another kind of one of these maybe like penultimate set one songs, you know what I mean? Or somewhere in set one where you're kind of breaking things up a little bit and you're getting that kind of
like a lull.
Yeah. But it's like the raw, it's got some raw emotion to it. And, and then it builds. I mean, it's just, it's really good there. And I find like it might just be a little bit too much of a downshift at that point in set two. So it'll be interesting to see if they stick with that. If that, I'm just always interested in those types of calls, what the rationale is from those guys.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that leaving it off the set list last night was Louisville American Woman level, leaving a song off middle of the second set. But I think it was the right decision, especially, I think Silver Rising would have been really weird after, Empress Born, Hunger Site, Kylie.
With you there. But, I'm terrified to put any of those things on Fantasy Goose, or terrified to even say, what it might be. I mean, take a look at what can be played tonight, like stepping away from the Fantasy Goose conversation and just like thinking about in general, like at any given moment, what can the band play right now? I mean, it's like over 25 original songs that are on the table to be played tonight. And that's bananas. It's absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just going to say, that's like not even including rarities. These are like songs that like have a hugely high probability of being played tonight. It's just pretty exciting. It's cool stuff.
Yeah, no, it's super awesome. And and it always brings me back around to the cover choices then. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you know what I mean? It's I'm not saying it's wrong, and covers are fun and cool and everything, and they do some covers that I really, really love. So I tend to think of this more when I get the covers that I'm just kind of take or leave it. You know what I mean? And, to be honest, I mean, for me, look, it is things like, Gun Street Girl. I would have liked to have seen them bust out during the acoustic sets at Radio City. But, it's like when I see stuff like that, and this weekend, for me, it's like, Kylie, Gun Street Girl, Green River. Those are the covers where I'm like you said, Neil, I look at the list of songs that they're sitting on.
Yeah.
And they're sitting on till next till the next show or the next 2 or 3 shows, and we're going to get all those. You know what I mean? They're all rotating through. But yeah, I wonder sometimes.
As we talked about yesterday, where's Our Way It Is? Where's the No Rain? Like, there's these amazing covers that are getting left off in favor of like multiple Kylies and.
Well, yeah, it's all over now, Baby Blue. I mean, that's one that I've been waiting for. Just one more play. But yeah, there's a whole slew that they've kind of hit on one time. And so, yeah, and things like, Use Me and I Wish, and, I'd like to see Switching more. Hopefully we'll see Spain more.
Yeah, for sure.
Switching in Spain. Yeah. Those deeper cut instrumental covers are great as well.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, there's like originals out there. It's like been 7 shows since they played Atlas Dogs, like, wish they could have thrown that one in there too.
And they haven't played it in the original arrangement since Chrysalis.
Yep.
Please, let's get another huge Atlas Dogs jam in the original arrangement.
So what do you want to hear tonight? What do we all want to hear?
Well, here are my 8 picks.
Another Atlas and the Echo would be nice for me.
Ooh, that would work well. I'd like to hear it, but we're very excited for tonight. Neil, I know you're going to see Eggy tonight.
Going to see. I got it backwards. Going to see Eggy tonight. So I won't be with you guys tonight. I'll text you some random stuff, probably hammered at some point.
Sounds like.
What time does the Eggy show start?
I think sound check usually starts about 8:30 my time. So I'm gonna probably get down there about 7:30 and hang out for a while. It's way out of the city. It's in Pembroke, Mass, which is I don't know, probably a half hour south of the city. It's the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that Slip thing going on this weekend? Is that this weekend or?
No, I don't think so. I think maybe it's next weekend, or maybe, I don't know. I know I'm not going to be able to make it to that because I've got a few other things. I want to go see Eggy again, I think in another 2 weeks down in Pawtucket. And then I'm going to go down, going down to the Cap to see Rick play with Phil the following weekend. So got a lot of stuff going. So I'm probably not going to be able to go to the Slip thing. Just one. I think that's all I can really afford. And,
Yeah. I'm looking forward to webcast.
Oh man, dude, you got that's type of shit. You get a new credit card if you need one. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. It's like people have said it. Phil, you get these lineups and everybody gets insanely psyched about the lineup, and then they go and they're shit. So
but with Rick,
I think the big thing about the Rick one is that there are a lot of Phil and Friends lineups that are there are 4 guitarists on stage and 2 people playing the banjo and 2 drummers and a keyboardist. I don't know how you can hear what's going on. There's one Phil and Friends from Lock-In 2016 that I saw the lineup and I was like, oh my God, Fishman and Joe Russo, Page on keys, whoa. And I turned it on and there's 20 people on stage and nobody's really getting a chance to stand out. This Rick one, 2 guitarists, keys, and it's Medeski.
Yeah. That lineup
one
is
drummer,
sick.
And the tab horns.
That is exciting.
That's one of the best Phil lineups I've ever seen.
That's a hot lineup. If you if you look at the other lineups that over the course of that run, this is the best lineup. And I'm not saying that just because of our boy up there, but Medeski. Molo, right? Isn't Molo on drums?
Yeah, Molo's phenomenal, and I love that it's only one drummer.
Yeah,
man.
So those shows are going to be sick, and we're getting streams supposedly, right? So
supposedly, Brian Murphy says.
Yeah, this next month and a half
there's a lot
is just
going
ridiculous. On.
Yeah, and a week at this time, I will be in Austin getting ready for Stubbs. So I'm 1 week away from seeing Goose, and I'm very excited.
Excited for you. Austin's an awesome town.
And then Jive, we get Eggy in Denver here in 2 months. You gonna come down for that?
In 2 months?
No.
You got a long advance notice, bud.
That's a big drive. That's a big drive. Coming into town.
He's got a pickleball.
Well, you make a good point there. Might have to see if there might be if I can line up a tournament. If I can line up a Denver tournament with
to coincide
with some type of music. Yeah, look, there's so much good music happening in Denver. I wish I had I wish I could do it, but yeah, it's just a big drive. And I mean, I got the soccer, I gotta be out there with the kids, I mean, I do it for the kids. So,
Always.
I got a family.
It's why you got a rad dad hat on,
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my
I
coaching
think
hat.
we're getting a little
out there
off the rails here, I think, as we tend to do, but this has been a
Just
great
hit the 45-minute mark.
day after show. Yes. This has been a great day after show. I think we'll be back right here tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern. We'll be talking about tonight's show. Join us on Twitter during the show. We are always there bantering and chatting. But yeah, thanks.
And more special guests to come.
Yes. And yeah, if you're seeing a show and you would like to be a special guest, shoot us a DM or an email, aatgoosepod@gmail.com or aatgoosepod on Twitter. Let us know if you'd like to be on. We're very excited to be doing this.
Let's go, Hotlanta.
Yeah. All right. Everybody have a fantastic